There's quite a bit of material here, all focused on the Google Digital Marketing and E-commerce Professional Certificate on Coursera.
Yep. It looks like a detailed pack.
Right. And our goal today is pretty straightforward. Cut through it all, pull out the really key stuff, what the certificate actually is, who it's aimed at, what happens after you finish, basically get you up to speed fast.
And it's definitely a relevant area. Understanding these programs, it's pretty crucial now with the job market changing so much. Skills are, well, key.
Okay, let's jump right in then. Based on what you've shared, at its core, what is this Google certificate?
So the materials describe it as a professional certificate. It's designed to sort of fast-track you into a digital marketing or e-commerce career.
Fast track. Okay.
Fundamentally, it's about getting people the digital skills that are, well, in demand.
And right off the bat, something that really stands out is how accessible they say it is. It says beginner level, and they stress no prior experience required. That seems pretty significant for people maybe feeling a bit nervous about a new field.
Oh, absolutely. The sources, they make it really clear this isn't some, advanced thing you need a degree for first.
Right.
They basically say anyone who's just curious about reaching customers online, engaging them, they can do well here.
So just curiosity is enough to start.
That's the message. And while it's technically for businesses and unis too, the material you sent us really focuses on the individual learner, someone looking for a career change or maybe a boost.
Which brings us to the why now question. Why this field? What do the sources say about the demand for these skills?
Well, the picture they paint is, well, it's pretty stark. High growth, urgent need. That's the language they use.
High growth.
Yeah, they call it a high growth field and literally say businesses need this talent more than ever before.
Okay, so let's get into the numbers. The data they cite must back that up.
It does. There's a key stat. 86% of business leaders apparently see digital commerce as their most important way to grow.
86%? That's wow.
Yeah, think about that. The main way they expect to expand is online. So these skills, they're not niche anymore. They're becoming like central to business.
Right. Absolutely core.
And then there's the job market data they included. I think it was Lightcast 2024 for the U.S.
Uh-huh.
Over 116,000 open jobs just in digital marketing and e-commerce.
Over 116,000. That is a massive number of openings. And does it mention salary expectations too?
It does, yeah. Material quotes a median entry-level salary of $71,000 in the U.S. Again, same Lightcast data.
71,000 entry level.
Yeah. So those numbers together, they really show the market relevance. It's not just abstract growth, it's actual opportunity, for individuals.
That context is definitely crucial. Okay, so let's pivot to the program itself. If someone signs up, what's the structure like? What's the learning experience according to the material?
Your sources lay it out as an 8-course series. It's pretty substantial. Over 190 hours total of instruction and practice work.
And it's all online, right? Flexible?
Exactly. Totally online, learn at your own pace.
Yeah.
The material suggests maybe 10 hours a week per course. You could finish the whole thing in under 6 months at that rate.
Under 6 months, okay. And how do you actually learn? Is it just watching videos?
Yeah, it seems like a mix. Videos, yeah, but also assessments and, importantly, these hands-on activities. They're designed to be like real-world tasks.
Ah, simulating the job.
Kind of, yeah. And it's all developed and taught by the Google Career Certificates team, drawing on, actual Google employees with field experience.
That practical simulation part sounds key, especially if you're starting out. So what do you actually learn over those 190 hours? What knowledge do you get?
So the sources outline a kind of progression. You start with the basics, the marketing funnel, strategy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get into actually attracting customers, search, email, those kinds of channels. Then, crucially, measuring performance with analytics and learning how to present those findings.
Data storytelling.
Right. And finally, the e-commerce part, actually building stores, analyzing how they're doing, and building customer loyalty.
Okay, let's get even more specific. The material lists a bunch of concrete skills. What are some of the main ones you'd walk away with?
Okay, yeah, the list is pretty comprehensive. There's search engine marketing, SEM, that's mostly the paid ad side.
Right, Google Ads stuff.
Exactly. Then search engine optimization, SEO, getting found without paying directly, social media strategy, campaigns, general marketing on social, media planning too.
Figuring out where to spend the ad money.
Sort of, yeah. Where and when. Then there's data storytelling, like you said, interviewing skills, campaign management.
Oh, customer experience strategy, CX.
Making sure people have a good online experience.
A/B testing, comparing versions of things.
Yeah.
and customer retention. So quite a bit.
That is a solid list. And it doesn't just stop at skills, right? The sources mention specific tools you learn. That seems super practical for getting hired.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a big plus highlighted in the sources. They list popular tools you get hands-on time with. Canva, Constant Contact, Google Ads, Google Analytics.
The big Google ones.
Yeah, and Hootsuite, HubSpot, MailChimp, Shopify for e-commerce, Twitter, Google Search Console, Sheets, Trends, Spreadsheets.
Wow.
And the point made is these are the tools employers are actually looking for people to know.
That makes sense. Now, something else the sources seem to highlight was AI. How does that fit in?
Right, yeah. The material explicitly mentions gaining AI skills from Google experts.
Okay, but what does that mean practically? Do they give examples within the program?
They do. The sources list things like using AI to understand your audience better, or
Yeah.
using it to kickstart ideas for a marketing strategy.
Like brainstorming with AI.
Yeah, or comparing campaign proposals using AI, improving email marketing,
Yeah.
even brainstorming website text.
So practical applications.
Seems like it.
Mhm.
Not just theory, but using AI as a tool for actual marketing tasks, which, feels pretty vital right now.
Definitely feels relevant. Okay, so you go through all this, you learn the skills, the tools, the AI.
Yeah.
What about the end result? What do the sources say about outcomes and actual career support?
Well, first you get the certificate itself, which is shareable LinkedIn, resume, all that.
Something tangible.
Right. And you also build a portfolio along the way. The sources mention projects like customer personas, social media calendars, stuff you can actually show employers.
And help with the job search itself.
Yes, the material lists specific career resources, like an interview practice tool, mock interviews, help with your resume, even career coaching sessions.
Coaching, okay.
And a big one they mentioned is this direct connection to over 150 U.S. employers who apparently recognize the certificate.
Wow, direct connection.
Yeah, though they do note that specific employer network piece is currently just for the U.S.
Still, that sounds potentially very helpful. And there was a pretty impressive statistic about outcomes, too. There was.
Yeah.
Based on a U.S. survey from 2022, they cite 75%, three-quarters of graduates reported a positive career outcome within 6 months.
75%. And that means
A new job, a promotion, or a raise. Something tangible.
that's a strong number.
Yeah. And the sources also list typical job titles people might land. Digital marketing coordinator, marketing specialist, SEO specialist, search engine analyst, media planner, e-commerce associate, those kinds of roles.
Got it. Okay, let's quickly cover the practical stuff, cost, time flexibility again, and any pathways beyond just the certificate.
Sure. Cost the sources give the U.S. Canada price as $49 a month after a 7-day free trial.
$49 a month?
Yeah, and they point out if you do it in under 6 months, like their suggested pace, that's less than $300 total in those places. Might be cheaper elsewhere, they note.
And the refund situation.
Well, you get a 7-day free trial to check it out.
Right.
After that, no refunds, but it's a monthly subscription, so you can cancel anytime.
Makes sense.
They also mention you can audit courses for free, just view the materials, but you don't get graded or earn the certificate that way.
So options there. What about using this as a step towards a full degree? Did the sources mention that?
They did, yeah. They talk about potential college credit recommendations, up to 9 credits via ACE or up to 7 via ECTS, depending on the system.
College credits. How does that work?
Well, they list specific online degree programs at partner universities where these credits might be recognized if you apply and get accepted into the degree program.
Okay, which universities did they name?
Let's see. Illinois Tech for a bachelor's in IT or an MBA, University of London for a bachelor's in marketing, and University of Huddersfield for a master's in management.
So potential pathways.
Potential, yes.
Yeah.
But the sources are careful to say it's always up to the university to decide whether to accept the credits.
Mm-hmm.
It's not automatic,
Yeah.
but it's a possible route.
Wow. Okay. We really unpacked a lot there directly from the material you sent. Started with how accessible it is, no experience needed, which is huge. Then the market demand, those job numbers, salary figures, the actual structure, 8 courses, 190 hours, all online.
The hands-on learning.
Right. The hands-on stuff, the specific skills like SEM, SEO, social media, data, and the tools, Google Ads, Analytics, Shopify.
Don't forget the practical AI applications woven in.
Yes, the AI piece. And then the outcomes, the shareable certificate, the portfolio, the career support, and that really striking 75% positive outcome stat.
Yeah, we try to pull out all those key threads for your sources, give you that clear picture of what it offers.
Definitely helpful.
So maybe just one final thought for you to chew on based purely on what we've discussed from these sources. They mentioned that 86% of business leaders see digital commerce as their most important path to growth. Given that, what might that imply about how fundamental these digital marketing and e-commerce skills could be for almost anyone working in or near a business in the next few years, even if marketing isn't actually in their job title?
Hmm.
Something to think about.